Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. As like I always say and always say again, I haven't been able to make these vlogs simply because I've been so busy with my gigs. But I want to show you guys exactly what I've been up to in the last month or two.
We've got police here, we've got security, we don't want any pushing around, we don't want anyone...
T-Raw, I'm here live and perfect.
So yeah, this has been the most craziest time of my whole career in filmmaking and photography. But there have been a couple people that have been asking me how I started this whole thing. And I want to show you guys exactly what my first gig was, how I got into filmmaking and photography, and how it's all led up to this point in time right now. So number one, how I started filmmaking and photography. So after high school, actually we'll start in high school. In high school, I wanted to become a physio, which is completely different, complete opposite of what I'm doing right now. Year 11, year 12, I studied physics, chemistry, PE studies, human bio, all that jazz. And in year 12, I was lucky enough to be offered a scholarship in America for two years, which was at Cloud County Community College. And over there, I played soccer. Basically, the first 6 months, I was planning on becoming a physio, and then something happened. I was speaking to the advisor over there, and they said I had to be in the States for about 6 years because after college you have to go to medical school and that sort of thing, and I just couldn't handle being away from home for 6 years. So for some reason I just decided to switch into, I think it was graphic design, and then I did that for about a year. And in one of those units that you have to do is actually a photography. And my parents bought me my first camera because I had to do this unit, right? I showed you guys before. And from then, I just basically fell in love with filmmaking and photography. But backtracking to high school days, I used to make my own vlogs like this, with Arfik, Morgan, Alex, those guys. I haven't like vlogged, like I said, in a very long time, but now I'm trying to get back into the habit of it because I'm going to go to Japan at the end of this month with Maria. So I'm going to try and vlog every day while I'm over there in Japan. Bought myself a new laptop. It's Asus ZenBook Pro, which is, it's got a 4K screen, so that's why I opted to get that. Anyways, back to the story. After 2 years in America, I came back. I decided to study film and photography at ECM at Lawley, and I started my business. It wasn't really a business, I just called it business back then, my first year in. And I basically, outside of uni, I made a lot of dance films, and people started hitting me up, asking me how much I charge for this sort of stuff. But I want to show you guys the first ever dance video I ever did that was paid. Let's go. So that was like, I think it was like 50 bucks to charge for that. And I was like, holy shit, I made like 50 bucks filming something I love, you know. It was, at the time, it was a good feeling, like a really, really good feeling. And after that, a couple years down the line, It's got 1 million views. So yeah, shout out to Rita and her crew. Exempt. So I want to talk about how I got to this point in time right now. So during university, while I was studying and making projects, I think there was about 2 projects a semester we had to do. And for me, that was like fuck all, honestly. That wasn't enough to be able to develop a skill and craft in this. So I was making films on the side and taking photos on the side, like during weekends and whatnot. Just basically building up a portfolio and developing my own skills. So once it got to 3rd year, that's basically when I decided to drop out because they couldn't teach me enough for me to stay at uni and pay all this money. Because I'm basically self-taught. And that's what a lot of people need to realize, that in the field of creativity, you don't need a degree at all. Honestly, you don't need a degree. You need to develop your own personal skills and your portfolio, which is like the most important thing. Honestly, like when someone asks me if I can shoot their wedding, they never ask, oh, whereabouts did you study this? That is like the most unnecessary question that you could ever ask a videographer or even a photographer. Basically, first year or 2 of my business, I tried to say yes to everything. And now it's coming up to my 3rd or 4th year now. Like I said, I've been flat out. And I think it's because I just kept saying yes and yes and yes to all these things, even though at the time I couldn't really handle it. I just basically said yes and figured out later on how to actually do all this stuff. And now I've basically learned how to deal with all this like stress, all this workload. I'm way more healthier now. I work out a lot more, and I'm generally like way more happier than I was before. So for you guys that want to get to this point, like being this busy, you have to say yes a lot, honestly. Like that Jim Carrey movie, he says yes to like everything, and then he goes on crazy adventures. He meets a lot of interesting people, falls in love, basically goes through the massive whole life journey because he said yes. And I think that saying yes is like one of the most important things in life to do, because once you say no to an opportunity, the opportunity is cut off. When I say yes to one little gig, that gig can lead on to like 2 or 3 other gigs, and it just like spreads, and that's how you become super busy. And basically through that, I can now call myself successful. So the last thing I want to say, put in the hard work, say yes to a lot of things, and take care of your health, because health is like the most important thing. Peace, guys.